Welcome to another episode of Blockrevision, and in today's subject we expand the issue of long-lasting inflation and as well as GDP growth, whether we're heading relentlessly into recession or will we have a soft landing for Fed. Right after, we'll just broach the issue of spot ETFs on cryptocurrencies, and we'll end up the section with trade idea. So let's begin. We're starting off with current valuation relative to long-term average. S&P 500 right now currently has a price to earnings ratio at 17.3. This data on 7th of June, related to 20-year average, that's 15.4. So in a broader spectrum of this rating, we might be still overvalued. However, in terms of recent price action, we should have rebound first, as price to earnings ratio has dropped from quite substantial levels. So that may be better for some of us to take a contrarian view and stay at the side of as well as Kolonovich and Kazman, that are known for making the right calls about markets and the economy. So there might be a rebound for now, but what will be brought next, we'll find out after CPI and also Fed interest rates decision will be introduced this week and another. So we have Euro area inflation is set to peak in third quarter. That's a forecast that expects this one to be peaking at third quarter of this year. That's also been recently introduced by World Food Price Index, as we could find here. This one is slightly diminishing. So many of the products, as vegetable oil, grain prices, have been already whipsawed by protectionist measures, as many of countries sought to protect their own markets, their own inventories. So that's why we are there is broadly spreaded propaganda that there is a very high inflation coming up, and there is the real struggle of a famine to be overcome in the future. That's why lots of markets are behaving in a protectionist way and trying to save their stuff. That's why we've seen that behavior. So it may be temporary for now and supposed to drop in the months ahead. Right, in terms of Eurozone economic growth, let's have a look right here. So Euro area economy expanded 0.6% in the first quarter, and that's higher gauges than been expected. That's why we find out that it's more likely we'll recover of this recession expectations being brought to the market on as well as April and May. So right now we may find that we are right over a massive drawdown from quarter 2 and 3 of 2021. However, trying to recover and make it firmly. In terms of world GDP, however, we also seen a projection where we may align the levels been seen right back in the previous decade for a longer time, and the growth at around 3% is supposed to be delivered. So there is no many recession voices. It means enthusiasm should turn back with this inflation being diminished in the time in front. On the other hand, however, we have Yellen speaking that she sees no way in which inflation a decade-long problem. So she finds that in a short or medium term, inflation should be turned down. However, in the longer term spectrum, we should adjust to a higher inflation than usual, and that's what politicians already are saying. That's really uneasy. Right now, let's jump to Crypto Outlook, and right here we have Citadel securities ready for crypto ETFs when regulators approve. So there is a battle between large hedge funds, whether it's from traditional market or the crypto one, either it's Grayscale or Citadel. We can find that everyone is going to grab for himself a chunk of this big crypto market that already has become, and there is a battle between candidates that, as we know, the first company that will introduce those spot ETFs will have been met with a large interest from investor side. Why the spot ETF is better from ETNs introduced before, especially from a side of security. With spot ETFs, the hedge funds need to possess those bitcoins that they allow to trade. However, in terms of ETNs or other structurized products, they only may have it on a paper. So whenever the kind of bank run will appear, investors may find that they don't have an access to their physical bitcoins. And that's the news that already hit up many of investors around the world. One of the biggest crypto events from months, at least. So Ethereum merge is an upgrade from proof of work to proof of stake that has been one of the most talked events about in crypto since it was first discussed in 2014. So right now we may find that this merge has already been introduced on Robston testnet, and this upgrade is planned to be introduced in for third or fourth quarter. That's why there might be a good time to for investors to make an interest in Ethereum before it eventually happen. We've talked already about Ethereum. Right now, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's ratio of supply on exchanges has dropped under 10%, which hasn't happened since December 2018. So it means that the weak hands has already been shaken out. Right now, those strong holders are mainly in the game, and that's why we may find that there's so bearish sentiment that maybe a good time already to take some piece of this crypto market and maybe start a leader position from here. In terms of market movers of recent, we'll talk about what happened recently. So we had on Tuesday already been discussed balance of trade. Yeah, kind of has returned to normal. That's optimistic for the economy. And another one was GDP growth annualized final for Japan that has turned out to drop a little below O level. That means that we are kind of oscillating between positive area that still prompts us to think that we are not in any way in recession time. As Wednesday's events been introduced, we had GDP growth rate for Euro area that I have just told about it, that was unexpectedly high. In terms of China, balance of trade right here has been brought back to better levels after these lockdowns been taken out. So on Thursday we have ECB interest rate decision that's as expected been remained at level. However, the July's interest rate hikes has already been delivered in Lagarde speech. So that's one of the things that's also has been hitting up in the market. We are expecting from China an inflation rate today to become at the level of 2% for now. Right now, let's have a look at trade idea section, and it's not maybe a trade idea per se. However, there will be a very interesting ratio. So on Russell to S&P 500 ratio, we are trying to make a pivot from a trend being started on the half of March of 2021, since the peak of this pandemic boom rally, and right now we are forcing this trend line from the bottom. So it means that might be coming a risk on tendency that may eventually happen on the market. Right now we have found that we already found a very nice ground regarding this ratio, and should force this trend line with success. So that's one observation for now, without any specific trade idea. However, I find it very interesting, and hopefully you find it as well. So that's it in today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, and if you found, just hit the like button, and see you in the next one.